I'm a spirit speaking, truth seeking, heart reaching, knowledge leaking, seed sowing, harvest reaping, man of meager means. I have yet to leave, I'm still breathing. To quit, I have no reason. I mean, I'm asleep, but I be trying to live my dreams. I cannot even act if it's all easy. Either you gon' do it or you don't. Really, it ain't no in between. Baby, you can ask the sun, it's an everyday thing. Consistency in your routine is how you bring reality. Working like a slave, that's how I made this masterpiece. Living like a god, I lay at night, I rest in peace. They remember me, but I am not Haram or beef.
Yeah.
Sir.
Yes, sir. Brian Hicks Bay, that's our noble. His album Transportation of Raw Materials is streaming on all platforms. Transportation of Raw Materials. My brother, Brian Hicks Bay. Y'all like it. But Islam and gratitude, man. How y'all day going?
Fantastic.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I want to thank everyone that's been continuing to rock with us as always. Let's get our Moorish American prayer.
Allah, Father of the universe, Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is our protector, our guide, and our salvation by night and by day, through his holy prophets and all the prophets that came before, and the prophets in the flesh. Ashe, amen. Shalom aleichem, Ash'ar, Islamism, peace, 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 peace.
Peace, 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 peace. But once again, everyone on TikTok, if y'all on here, please subscribe to our Temple and School YouTube channel on Burning Bush. It's Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School on YouTube. If you're on TikTok right now, still jump on YouTube if you got another device. And when you jump on, yeah,
slide over so we can see you over here.
Peace. And we want y'all. We want to get that traffic here. So then, as you go on this traffic, then I'm gonna show y'all other private things that I'm gonna start introducing all the literature and all the adapt science to where we're gonna build our own community. So on YouTube, once again, it's the Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School. We live right now on there, rocking right now. Won't you come join us? Won't you come join us? Everyone is welcome. Everyone. I don't care what color, what creed, what sex, what about your money, your car. None of that don't matter. None of that don't matter. Because why? When you get with this, it's going to give you everything you need. You're gonna get with some brothers, some sisters, that's real family men, that do real things in life. We ain't out here talking barbershop talk, doing real things. Purchasing things in real life with they two little nickels, and in Allah's will, boom, magic happen. You know, so you're welcome to join us. You're welcome to court us to see if we are really real about what we saying and actually doing. People have been following us for 5, 6, and 7 years. In relationships, you have been did the thing with a woman without the Jimmy hat. So how you gonna be rocking with us that long and don't come on in? Right, you know? Right. How you gonna be rocking with that long and don't come on in? So before we get started, I'm gonna show y'all some artwork real fast. You know, I'm gonna turn both of my social medias around. I'm downstairs, so I'm gonna show two. I'm on TikTok, and I'm gonna come back. I'm not gonna say prices because I don't like to talk about prices. If you serious, let me know. Can y'all see?
Hey, whoever that is, yeah, we can see it. Whoever that is on YouTube, thanks for replying to the person who asked about opinions on Jews. We did do a class on that, so it's not an opinion. We fact check over here. So just wanted to address that real quick.
So this is some artwork my mom does. All of it's handmade. You know, these are prints. Some of them are made with charcoal. Some of them are made with pencil. You know, this is just some of the jewelry. A lot of handmade jewelry. Everything is handmade. They one-of-ones. Like the Egyptian one I have and the Moorish heads, we can get, you know, different shapes and sizes. But just wanted to share that with y'all real fast. I didn't want to be too.
Go back. Let me see that sheet. Go back. Hold on. Go back. Let me see that again.
What?
The jewelry. Ooh, jade. Okay. Move your finger out the way.
My bad. It's just some little handmade pieces.
Yeah. Okay.
Just some little handmade pieces. When we was at the little event, and some of my mom art. Like I said, So, well, with that being said, did I show y'all the art? Oh, I'm sorry. Give me 1 second, y'all. Somebody said you ain't show us. Hold on. Let me know. Just some pieces of artwork.
Chavez, is that you? SHJR16. Is that Chavez
Huh?
on YouTube?
I don't know. Who? Vez? I don't know. What's up,
What's going on, man?
How you doing, man?
All right.
We can go this way. Oh, you got to go that way. You good? Go ahead.
Just like your dad.
You can go any way you want. Oh, what you trying to get something?
Oh, damn! I didn't want to get on the camera.
Oh, you good?
Okay.
You good?
Oh, shit! I didn't don't walk behind you, so that's why I didn't go that way.
Nah, you good.
So I didn't know where he was at.
You good?
You showing her stuff?
Yeah.
Cool.
So,
Well,
what you
right
say?
on, Aaron. Appreciate your insight on there, Aaron. Right on, gratitude. Hit us up. Hit us up on the email, Aaron. We like nobles like you.
Yeah.
We embrace that clarity.
Yeah. Absolutely. Let me see something. What social media this is? Okay. Didn't I send y'all 2 documents today?
You sent us foreign hidden, what was that called? Foreign hidden something. Now let me get the fact sheet.
Who all in that? Brian, you here?
Yeah, Brian's here. Me and Brian.
Okay.
It's hold on. Oh, you emailed that. So hold on.
Yes, sir.
So I'm gonna have y'all do the thing today, and I'm just gonna,
Hidden
add
foreign text. Hidden foreign text. What's it called?
Yeah.
Hidden
Brian, you got
text
it right.
known as dog Latin.
Say what now? Say it again.
Hidden foreign text known as dog Latin.
Hidden foreign text known as dog Latin. Now, remember yesterday, man, we had a beautiful discussion on TikTok, and I always tell my brothers and sisters, I'm not here to argue with no one. We're supposed to be coming together and building, just like we have our elders and just like we have our teachers and our scholars. I'm one of them. So when I bring information back to my brothers and sisters, it's not for us to have a pissing contest per se. When I know, with all due respect, you might be sincere, but I know for 100% you sincerely wrong. Why? Because I've done this in academia. With all due respect, and I don't have a motive, and I can stand, be corrected, but I know I've done this, in academia and in my travels. I've lectured against PhDs, and heads of these departments in academia. And like I say, it's a thing called scholarship. It's a thing called peer-reviewed scholarly research. It's a certain way that if you on that level, no matter how you feel, no matter what color, what creed, when it deals with the scholarship, we're going to have to rock with the scholarship.
This one.
And so, yeah. And so yesterday I heard myself like a CB, but yesterday, Noble Malik, we was talking about SF 181 form and specifics of things. Yeah. Because we're going to add on to what we were talking about yesterday, because it was a beautiful bill. But remember, I tell people sometimes you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. And when you don't know what you'll be talking about, listen clearly, people, especially on social media, you shouldn't be saying nothing. Why? Put the tape in. Hey, Craig, go get the tape. Go get the tape. You know what I mean when I say that?
Right.
They got you on. They got you. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much. You know you done messed up, don't you?
That part. That part. You know you done messed up.
When I tell brothers, I said, listen, we're here to help. Willing obligor. They're going to use all that against you. So when we were talking about white by law and SF 181 form, and a lot of brothers, man, did this be spewing off at the mouth and saying, well, I'm a American Indian. Well, and And then I ask brothers and sisters honesty, because it's a thing called honesty. That's how we help. That's how we help. Dude was like, well, you know, I'm not this and I'm not that. I'm trying to get out they system and all this. And I always tell people, what do you mean they system? You know, when I say, okay, if your job made you take the cocoa without your religious affidavit, I say most people gonna have to get fired or have their religious affidavit, right?
Yeah.
So, and your religious affidavit ain't no stuff you done made on the internet. Why? Because let me tell you why. If they want to subpoena you for the court, now you done falsified some documents. That's what I tell people. It's no reason to do these things, because when you go in that arena for you to have to defend yourself, I know you're going to do what? You're going to plead to a lesser charge. You're going to plead to a lesser charge. And that means, and you're going to admit guilt. You know, I know this. And that's how people get caught up. It's not even complex like it was back in the day. It's from the lack of knowing. And it's from the lack of being AKA a paper terrorist, a domestic terrorist, foreign and abroad, with all due respect. When my brothers, I'm saving somebody today. When you say you're getting ready to expatriate from the de facto government, and then I say, okay, when you do that, then tell me who you have allegiance with. Please don't say no Moroccan Empire. If you say that, I'm gonna say, well, let me see your paperwork from your passport and your citizenship from Morocco. It's none. You got some paper from somebody that you met on the internet. With no different. That's the same thing. That's redemption movement. What Roger Elvick done years ago, and in Canada, the Paradigm Group. I'm sorry. I'm telling people, man, they got a whole sting going out right now. Y'all getting ready to see it? I'm telling you, it's happening in Arizona right now. I've been telling people this forever. They own them. And now all the stuff that you're saying that you do on the internet, now you got to prove it. I bet you everybody's going to have a court-appointed attorney. Why? Because this social media, and when, like Malik said, and I give my brother credit when he said we should build with brothers. And I said, the thing is, your heart have to be pure first to build with other people. You can't have a spirit of debating, because there's nothing to debate. We're supposed to be
constantly.
Huh?
It shouldn't be a wavering. It shouldn't be a wavering feeling. You got to do what's right constantly.
Yes.
Even when it's hard.
Yes. And when we're talking about who we are and SF 181 form and white by law, I really don't think my brothers and sisters comprehend.
No, because they in their feelings. They don't want to understand. They just want to be talked through emotion.
And Malik, and we go over this. It's like somebody saying you can't put a circle in a square, and then they got a feds don't talk about they a grand chic. I said, clearly you don't know how to use your elementary tools, because that's
look at this.
You can't put a circle in a square.
This is a perfect time, right? It's graduation time, right?
Mm-hmm.
I got what we have. What is this we have on?
Come on,
Feds,
teach
right?
me.
The circle,
Teach.
right? And when you go to graduation for high school, what's the shape of theirs on the top? The square, right? So you can put a circle in a square, you can square the circle. Either way, it's still 360 degrees, esoteric and esoteric wisdom. That's the circle and that's the square. So if you want to come get some of this knowledge, you gotta stay with it. It's not something that's a fly by night. Like, you didn't get from K through 12 only going to K. Right? You had to go K through 12. So come on, get some of this K, this knowledge, that K. That's what the knowledge stands for. K is knowledge.
And you can, and see, we can stop right there. And that's a mouthful, Noble Malik, in just a sentence. In just a thought. Just a thought out of your brain is all the way there.
Mm-hmm.
And this what we be saying is like, it's no ego, it's no competition. It's like, man, did you hear what he just said? We talk about elementary tools. They both have 360 degrees. Well, no, they don't. Okay, well, you don't know how to use your tools then. And we don't got to tell you what the tools are. Why? We don't. We tell you to come to class and learn. And that's how a person will fail a test. See, And when we talk about these things pertaining to who we are, especially white by law, you know, because people send me things and I don't debate. I said, I'm never going to debate. We have discussion, but people don't want to have discussion. So we have conversation. You know, I've been doing this for a minute, just like everybody else that been doing it for a minute. And you will hear people say, well, what are we white people? Well, and laugh. And they call themselves grand sheiks. And me and my noble Malik was like, man, and people be agreeing with that. And I said, I don't think people are comprehending what the document is saying.
Right.
It's hard for me to, and then the brother said, oh, I don't believe in nothing, this, nothing, the white man, this. And when I talk about the Spencer and Dungy case, when Abraham Lincoln defended Moore in court, I said, are you listening? And then I came to the realization, Noble, my people are lost due to a lack of knowledge.
Use the learn.
I've seen it, comprehension, because we're dealing with a lot of brothers, and it's no disrespect, that dropped out of school. This is what people have been telling. They're like, Sheik. They're like, I don't know why you put people on a pedestal. I said, I respect everybody, no matter this, not, and the other. He said, most of the people you dealing with on social media dropped out of high school or only work with their hands. They don't respect people coming from good families and all that. They think it's soft. We got to be crazy. We got to be in our neighborhood with guns on each other. But when we look at the others, man, you know, he would have been this, what the family he came from. Yeah, he went to college, got a master's degree. And matter of fact, he got 3 degrees. Matter of fact, he part of the Philosophical Research Society. Matter of fact, he gathered and compiled 15 books. Matter of fact, he got a book company called mypdfbooks.com where you can download books on your tablet. And they got a company, bindedbooks.com. They sell regalia, moorehaberdasher.com. His noble, Brian Hicks Bay got a whole album, Transportation of Raw Materials.
Yep.
My noble Moso has some of the best tees at Mayat Sun Tees. My noble Alonzo does all web design at ALO Design Pros. My noble Malik is our trainer in fitness. My noble Lamar Barclay, he's our trainer in fitness.
Yep.
I mean, and everybody been seeing us for years doing this. That's why I say, Moors, come on in and let's learn. It's okay if you have to reboot your hard drive and get a flush and feel. It's okay to reboot your hard drive and get a flush and feel, because you cannot build on rubble. And that's all I'm telling my brothers, man. Let's remove the rubble and then build on solid foundation like master architects. Let's do it the right way. Let's make sure our corners is square. Let's make sure our triangle is right. Let's make sure we using this mathematical equation in the right way. We correct the science. So when brothers, the white by law, we broke that down. We broke the SF 181 form down. That should be clear.
Plenty of time.
Plenty of times. And if you don't know, you should want to give a small donation. We don't ask for much here because we're going to put you in the right direction. We've been giving money to stuff we say we don't like. We got to stop that. So why we can't support something just with a tittle of what we love? That's all I'm saying. We pay the DJ and all that. This is not no one paying. This is like, hey, this is worth something. Because when you learn, then you correct yourself. And then you correct those around you. From love. So when we talk about that white by law, and like I said, if anybody want to ask questions, because that's what we're going to discuss, a tittle. But that document again, Malik, what you said it was called again? O'Brien?
Hidden foreign text known as dog Latin.
And what is that all about? Just a little, can you just give us a highlight real fast, and let's see, do people catch on?
It reads Justinian deception, hidden foreign text known as dog Latin, the mother of all deceptions, the concept of modern day slavery. It's also by Romley Stewart. This article is not a legal advice in any way. It is a story in relation to research and findings that have been uncovered in relation to such research directed at grammatical appearance and grammatical standings of government, or what could be foreign de facto governments, court and bank contracts and charges, This article hopefully may alert some of you to the dangers of entering into contracts when you are not aware of the importance of the grammatical appearance of the languages employed within such contracting paper instruments. Is the legal title you hold really saying what you assume it to say? That's a good question. And it continues to, it says, an account of grammatical crimes of corporate governance, courts, and enforcement agencies by the use of dog Latin and quote unquote debased, criminal, immoral foreign written languages that renders all such dog Latin documents tendered by such corporate private governments as quote unquote counterfeit. Dog Latin is hyphenated, all uppercase Latin symbolic text that follows the grammatical rules of English and not the grammatical rules of Latin. It is the language of the illiterate. And it has in parentheses, state in Black Laws Dictionary, 4th edition. It looks like English. It looks just like this, quote unquote. But grammatically, it is the deception right under your nose. It is the poison in text. It is the corruption in the contract. If you hold any part of this debased criminal all uppercase text of the dead corporations, such as your driver's license, you are claiming membership to the underworld, criminal, counterfeit, corporate world of the corporation. You become a criminal.
Islam. Islam. Now, that's a whole mouthful for a person that's hurt, that's not pure. You see what I'm saying, Brian?
Yes, sir. That's
Because that's where they'll stop. That's why, and then as you go on, as you continue to read and understand, before I even deal with that, I'm gonna tell you, you got the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used in the court of law. Nothing you say to the cop, to the nobody's gonna help you with your case. You hear me?
Yeah, Islam.
So everything else is irrelevant. Oh, I ain't guilty. Okay, so you know what you just did when you say you're not guilty? What you have done when you say that?
Became willing obligor.
So that means now you got to do what?
Prove it.
All right. And see, then nobody can. Now you open valley. It's like on a tennis court. Now you boop, 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 boop. Cause now you got to prove this. Like it's a whole nother, which I'm not gonna indulge in because we don't have to right now. That's why we say you need to be a student so you can get the specifics. So when you open up that box per se,
activity that makes you a criminal. Period. Point blank. Thanks, man.
And so all these variables, when I tell people before it's certain things that when you know now, just like Morris, before you do anything, before you say anything, I think you should not say nothing. You know what I'm saying? I think you should not say nothing. And this why, if you don't know for sure, I always ask people, are you sure? Are you sure? And they say yes, and they not sure. And so when we ask people this, I say, are you sure? Based off what? Well, we can't just pull things out of our you know what. We have to deal with precedent in law cases, right, Nobles?
Islam.
You know, we having a honest discussion today to clear any confusion up. When you expatriate from the de facto so-called government, then tell me who you got allegiance with. You would be stateless. You would be a domestic terrorist, foreign and abroad. Don't you know that? Don't you know that? My brothers and sisters, I was asked to talk about this today. Don't you know that? When you expatriate from the de facto government, tell me who you got allegiance with. You're going to still be on 2100 Jackson Street. So what sense in the world would you do that for? I'll wait.
None at all. None at all.
I'm clear. You go to work every day. Your wife work, or your girlfriend, or your baby mama, or whatever. She might be on welfare. You gonna mess her welfare up. You gonna mess her Section 8 up. And I'm not laughing at that, but don't you understand? Like I have to talk about these are precedented things. I'll give you an analogy. We don't have to say things. I'll give you an analogy, and I use myself. Let's use myself in this, so we don't have to say it's anybody else, but it is somebody else. But I'll use myself. If I were going around telling my nobles and empresses, "Oh, I got my own this, then that," you can expatriate from this and renounce your statehood and all this stuff, and I give you some certificate, and now you're a part of my community or whatever. No, you ain't part of nothing. Say if you was getting welfare in Section 8. So when you say you ain't no American citizen and all that, which is the government, your daddy, if you are, don't you know, ma'am, they finna cut you off Section 8? You know that, right? I want people to be honest.
Absolutely.
I want people to be honest. Why? Because you said you done gave up your citizenship. You're not You're not that. It was contingency on you getting welfare and cheap housing. Was you going to abide by XYZ? And you were an American citizen. So once you expatriate from the de facto government, you renounce. You give up all your rights to so-called welfare. If that's all, so you don't deserve no welfare. You're a domestic terrorist. Foreign and abroad. You know what foreign and abroad mean, don't you? Come on, people. You better look up y'all better look this stuff up.
All over the world.
Y'all better look this stuff up. Y'all better look this stuff up. Everybody on here that's our age. Because there's a lot of brothers our age. My noble Malik, we had a brother on I feel everybody's spirit. But then if you want to come on here, I said, you're going to embarrass yourself on social media, because I can't let you say things and I know it's not real. And I know if you do that, you in danger. And we did have a brother on our page. We came to build. He's 40 some years old. My noble Malik, because he's always in the spirit. I just have to say that. He be mentoring me because that's my brother. We mentor each other. But he said, man, you need to get in shape.
If all I got to play, I ain't even gonna hold you. I'm talking from experience.
Yeah, and when he said that, he's talking mentally and spiritually, because he's looking at her. He said, "Man, yeah, you got too much time on your hands." And we speak in wisdom. We speaking in love. It's like, listen, man, and we letting the brother talk, well, I want to go to what it is. It's all that radical stuff. And now it's just sad, with all due respect. It's just sad. It's just sad. So I'm glad we got some questions on it. He said, how do you feel about the voting rights slowly getting took away with the Louisiana case? Okay, so that's what I wanted today. Now watch this. So it's like this. Oh, my fault. Hold on. Okay, I showed the jury already. I'm gonna show it again. So this the person said about the voting right acts. We just broke it down. How do you feel about the voting rights slowly getting took away with the Louisiana case? Good question. Who voting rights getting took away? This is a beautiful. This fits so perfect. Whose rights getting took away? Now let's go back. What's the Declaration of Human Rights, Article 15? No. What do civil mortis mean? No, forget that. No. What do civilito mortis mean? Come on, y'all.
In the eyes of the law.
Who? What people?
Negroes, African Americans, Ethiopians, Mexicans, etc. Negroes, colored people who self-identify as such.
Black was never used to describe ethnicity in the first century. So when people be saying how I feel, I don't feel no way. We just broke. That's why I said I'll be hoping people come to class and read. We just broke down white by law, and people are like, well, I ain't no white man. I know. I say, oh man, they ain't white. That's the tricknology.
Right.
That's the tricknology, but that's a whole nother teaching. So when people ask me things about stuff, I say I don't feel no way about these things. That I ain't worried about, because I don't participate in that manifestation where I'm saying that I'm this. Ain't no way. What? Like I know better than that. That don't affect me. When you get behind some black right there, ain't nobody finna get no dang old reparation for being black. I told y'all, you can go get Ben Crump, that the one that always the lawyer for everybody when something happened to misnomer black people, and he could talk about some reparations. And I'm gonna sit right here, and I ain't no rich man in dollars, but I'm rich in what I'm doing and how we moving, and what we can manifest. I guarantee, and we can get any not a prosecutor, judge, anybody that know this context and be unbiased. They'll be like, man, no Negro, black, and color or African American is going to get no reparations, and the only people that's going to get some type of cash out, if that's what you want to call it, is the people or the persons that created the so-called Negro, black, color, and African American. These is facts, and they have no rights. So I don't feel no way about it. I don't fight about that. I don't march behind that. I understand the psychosis of it, because that's a messed up psychosis,
Well, just think about what they marching for, right?
Nothing, Malik.
They marching for civil rights. Which comes first, civil or human?
Nothing. It's still nothing. Because you put one foot before the other, you're gonna be tripping. It's like you a grown man, you keep putting your shoes on the wrong feet and you falling. Your shoes on the wrong feet. You feel me, Malik?
Yeah.
So this, when I ask people, I'll be saying you're injecting yourself back to things that for the wrong political stand. Because all this stuff is political. You got to know what I do with politics. Huh? And that's it. We will say it out our mouths who we are, slaves, with all due respect. And until people correct that, and for the record, that's how we're going to get treated. We break down the 13th, the 14th, the 15th Amendment. We broke down manumission. That's why I tell brothers to come to class where it won't be no debate. It won't be no argument. What we must do, come together. Our declaration, our proclamation. We have the right to annex our L or bay. Annex to your coat of arms or your family crest. This is the key. So people are still standing behind things that's not real. No matter how great you feel about it. And this when I tell people, I'm like, okay, it's still not real. I don't care how many people, you're going to lose every time. I don't care how much money they raise for some black laws, no matter. You're going to lose. And that's the correct part of us. Because and you got a lot of misnomer black people, a lot of churches. I know they all stand behind that black thing until you correct them in the news calling you black. Until they knew another black this, another black that. According to science and law, black means deaf. Put deaf in front of everything you call black. They know this. They don't have no right. And they got an oath. What to protect? That's what I've been telling people. I said, man, we have no idea. We have no idea. Negroes written in chattel, in the president's chattel at 3/5. We ain't got to talk. This is facts. So anytime people standing behind some black stuff, you lost the battle. No matter how heavy you think you are, when you operate on black, which I understand your plight. I really do. But when it comes to this court thing, and when it comes to say, well, what are we on paper? Well, the white man calls more. See, that ain't where we going with this. This is what I'm saying. Like, these things must be known to your children. It must be known to us. How? And then the shift change. Then if you feel your senses and all that, and we deal with the SF 181 form, it's going to be filled the right way. And once it's filled out the right way, they're going to be like, where are all the misnomer Negroes, African Americans in this community? They don't realize that they're not that. They corrected a mistake. They mamas might not have knew the mistake that they did, but not only they corrected themselves, they corrected their mamas. And if they mamas want to correct the mistake, they have the right to do it too. Why? Because what did the Declaration of Human Rights, Article 15 say?
You have a right to nationality. You have a right to change and arbitrarily deny that right.
You see, bro? And the chamber clause replaces the what?
Birth certificate.
And the claim of child replaces the what?
Birth certificate.
Drop the mic. It blows up. If we were in a Christian church, man, they'd be there. They'd be dropping money at my feet. And I'd be running across like Creflo Dollar and that old minister Price. Oh, look at all this money. Look at all this money. Like my homeboy said, he said, Sheik, you got a personality, man. Start having fun. And just and don't have, because this is what it is. Because people do the mockery. And everybody say they love what I'm doing. I don't get 75 cents. I don't want to be no poor righteous teacher. Hey, if I was making fake IDs, everybody would be rocking with me. If I'll be going to rent a Bentley in Vegas and down there say, man, take my course. I have everybody on here. I have everybody giving money, talk about, yeah, take my course. But that's not what we do, y'all. I had to give some pun. But in all actuality, family, I always ask my brothers and sisters, when you sign something, I bet you put black. When you get a job, insurance, anything, I bet you pick black. And I said, and right here today, we have to be honest, because if you're not confident and you will say who you are to people, and then when there's something pushed in front of your face and you won't express it the same way with the pen, from understanding, oh man, that is something wrong with that. Am I right, brothers and sisters?
Yeah, but that's also a teaching in itself.
Yes, Malik. That's why that's why I said, Malik, everything we talk about, we build. That's why I say this is a conversation.
My experience in Baltimore, right?
Mm-hmm.
When a pin drop, where they try to tell me when I fill out my form, and then that identification part where it talks about ethnicity and race, right? You have to understand what that context means, and most people don't. So when it happened, the pin drop, I could have cleared out the whole room because I put it on there Asiatic, right? And it wasn't part of the one of their selections when they went to go file it in the computer. So she brought it back. It was already filled out and printed out, and I seen that she changed it to black. I said, "Oh no, I don't identify as that." And I said, you're not supposed to change that. She said, "Well, it wasn't. There was no selection on what you put in there." I said, "Okay." I said, "Well, what's my options on a Dropbox?" She went to the computer and she kind of set it across the room, and I said, "Put white." Everybody in there froze.
Yep.
But I know it's a legal document. So I know the legal document, all my rights are white by law. Yep, Malik. Not skin tone, but with a feeling. I'm doing things legally and lawfully. Yep. So it's a teaching and an understanding, not a feeling. We do things based off of facts, not feelings. And alphabetically, facts come before feelings. Brother J.D. Berry said, and I hope he started joining us soon. Brother J.D. Berry said, "Yep, because the pen is mightier than the sword." Hello, somebody. You know, because the pen is mightier than the sword. I tell people, I said, man, okay, you're going to profess things out your mouth, but then you're going to sign the wrong way. Then it's going to void itself out. So these are the things we be trying to tell, to teach. When people talk about civics, to teach civics class, you got to know how to be civil. Hello. There's also a catch-22 to all this, right? Even if you've been arrested, right, and you didn't commit the crime, right, and say they lock you up, right, and now you got to go to court and all that stuff, right? Well, our people always talk about, oh, the system's not fair, yada, yada, but they the first ones to get out of jury duty. So you have to make it make sense. You want all the rights, but you don't want to participate in the fairness of how the system is created for it to be fair. You want to get out of it and then talk mess about why it's not fair. Well, you don't want to participate in it.
Yeah.
So how can you could be the one person that hangs a jury to make sure that person that you know based off the facts, because a lot of jurors go in there off of feeling, and I've experienced it, right? They go in there off of feeling about their past experience or whatever they went through. That has nothing to do with the court case at hand. You got to go off evidence that has been presented and not off of how you feel, because the jury instruction says nothing about feelings. And we have to be part of that process. Just like we got to be part of the voting process, right? Just like we got to be part of the laws that are passed is a voting process. If you ain't functioning and being part of that, how can you have an opinion about something you didn't participate in?
Mm-hmm.
So now you say you want to get out of this, expatriate yourself, right? Then what are you participating in? What do you have influence on? Nothing. So make it make sense.
It don't, Malik. You can't. That's what. And I'm glad you said that, Malik. And you said it anyway. It can't make sense, brother. That's why we're trying to correct it. We get, because look, dude, 2 + 2 is 4. We can't say no, man. It's 15 and try to make it right. We can't.
Driver's license to drive on these highways and byways that connect all these states federally, right? You have to have a driver's license to operate a vehicle. Period. That's just what the system is. You signed up for it. It's a contract. So abide by the rules and the laws.
And Malik,
not the rules and the laws, but just the rules, because they're just rules and guidelines.
And I asked anybody, because I asked a brother one day, he was on here, he was saying, "Oh man, I'm a more this," and I said, "That's fine." But then somebody jumped on the page. They was like, "Bro," they're like, "I know you, and you a truck driver." He said, "Bro," and all of them happened to be truck drivers. They went to the same truck driving school, and you know, trucks gotta have a certain type of license
CDL.
and a certain type, huh?
CDL.
Yeah. So he on here talking, and the dude jumped on. You know, because I'll be live a lot of times when y'all be doing different things. You know, I jump on here when I'm in my time in the evenings almost every day. But the brother jumped on. He was like, "Bruh," he was like, "You know good and well we can't drive these trucks if we don't got our CDL." Yeah, you said CDL and this license. He was like, "Man, that's cap." He was like, "That's cap." He was like, "She telling you right." He was like, "Yeah, we was in prison together." He was like, "Man, we was in a joint together." And he said he met some Moors in prison that was talking that old you don't got to give up your license and all that. He was like, "Man, no." He said he found me on the internet in a joint. You know, he was from South Carolina. I got to figure the name, but the same way homeboy did in Vegas that put up on me and A Sharp. But anyway, But anyway, he was like, "Man, these fools in there talk about we ain't this, we ain't that." And they took classes in prison in the joint to be truck drivers, and a lot of them came out with their CDLs. But then them other dudes was listening to that more science stuff, came out, they had their CDLs, came out, gave all that stuff up, messed themselves up. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Willingly. Will you willingly give it up? "Oh, I ain't this." I said, "Dude, you making all this much money." Well, one of the dudes said he was making $250,000 a year. This is what he was saying. I already knew who he was on social media. I knew it was that Rise of the Moor stuff, because I know certain people that's older that know people that know people that know people. I knew a lot of people. I know a lot of brothers that been to prison. Why? Because my homeboy that rock with me from prison, he was like, "Sheep, man, everybody know you in the joint. We watched you in prison." So make a long story short, y'all, when you do these things and somebody tell you to do that, now what? I'm asking you, what? You tell me. I don't know. You do all that now. Now what? What you gonna do? You gonna still drive trucks for this company? No. That ain't happening. So that's what we saying, man. We have to correct ourselves. And just like I know brothers that may have lost their houses, you can't promulgate and on here with us and say the thing that you did was right. The main thing you should be doing is be like, "Man, no, man, I'll listen to these people, man. They made me do this X, Y, and Z, man. I done lost this, and that, and the other. Man, don't do that, blah, blah, blah." But they don't. And so we don't have to say names. What we do is say these things are not right, because it's not more science. The prophet didn't operate this like this. We didn't operate like that. If we ride in a car with our people and our family, we got whoever driving got the proper license and the insurance. Why? Because if something happened to us, we want to be protected by what? The law. The same way you want to be protected by the law. Like, stop the cap. I would not put my mom and my family in a car with none of my family that operate like that. With all due respect. I'm telling you, I don't care what, man. If my noble, well, it wouldn't be my noble, but if anybody in my family, which I may know somebody in my family operating like that, I'll never get in the car with you.
No, because you put me at a disadvantage.
I'll never get in the car with you. I don't give a damn what nobody say. Because what point you trying to prove? Tell me, what point you trying to prove? And there's always things that's irrelevant. It ain't none of these things is building no community. You done got some stuff off the internet. You a radical.
Yeah.
And these is things that we talk about. We're not radical here. You know what I'm saying? This is how we can't be. We're supposed to be a community. We're supposed to own things. We're supposed to use our resources. We're supposed to, instead of giving to Uncle Sam willingly, we should be donating to our religious and charitable contribution of our choice, getting the taxes and receipt, or figuring out if you want to file exempt. And that's how we build our community. And that's how you have the great migration. People coming back to a certain community, or we adopt a certain community and buy the land and build up and have our temple and schools and teach the next generation. Like, this is not hard. That's my mission. That's the mission. I've seen my professors, the Jewish professors, they did the same thing. They were like, well, we didn't get, grants until, they was doing real successful because they donate. And when people understand this, and when you have a body, and when you really want to make a movement for your people, you don't have to argue with no one. You don't have to get nothing from no one and be under the faith-based initiative, because the faith-based initiative, if you're getting that federal funding, you got to teach and speak a certain way. And it's a lot of brothers that you think didn't get that faith-based initiative. But if I show you, you'll be like, I did not know that. Well, that's not to them, that's not for us to say, but it's a certain way, right. And so we're giving everybody the opportunity.
The curriculum.
Yes, we want y'all to come learn. All the Moors that have been following me for years. The brother was on my page the other day, Malik, and he like, man, Sheik, I've been following you since 2019. And then he said his Sheik was following me. You know the brother name. I think it was Haru on our page before. Remember?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. And one of his members was on here. He was like, Sheik, I've been following you since 2019. You hear me?
Dang.
I said, look, I got a little character, I got a little jokey in me. So I said 2019. I said, I'm being silly. I said 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. I said, that's 7 years, sir. I said, no, I'm silly. Malik, I'm laughing in my head, but I'm really serious. I said, 7 years, brother? I said, you've been following me? And he was like, yeah, and I go to the temple here and such, but I don't go no more, man. And I said, man, we're not here to talk about your ex-sheik or whatever. I said, because he been on my page and we said peace to him. My noble Malik said, hey, sir, and because my name is my name. I tell everybody, all my nobles, we don't have fictitious names. With all due respect, we are next our L or our Bay till our name. We don't have to have a fictitious name unless we've given a chiefdom, unless we give them a chiefdom from our spirit, and that can be done. How? Because I give wisdom and names, because that's the credentials that I have for in my fraternal order, and we use a certain vernacular,
Absolutely.
But this is what I've been trying to tell brothers. I'm like, come on, man. Right, y'all?
That's right.
I mean, so when people be talking that colored thing, especially Moors or anyone else, I say, I think sometimes we have to come to the round table as brothers and sisters that have a common denominator, and can really have these discussions without getting upset. Why? Because we can have all the different hats we want on, but it should be some type of uniting. It should be some type of, okay, this is a conglomerate of understanding if we want the same thing. It's one
Okay, so
nationality and many cultures. You say something, Noble Malik?
yeah, so Nova Aaron said, he said the contract goes to the word con. He said, what makes a con man? It was a question. And I said, you're absolutely right. But the contract don't necessarily mean to be con. That means both parties have to agree. Because if
Yeah.
you been con and you signed the contract, that's on you.
Come on. Come on, Malik. And see, and that's the beauty, what I love when I say the pendulum swing the same way to the left as it does to the right.
That's right.
Sometimes we always we talk about things have denotations and connotations. So I give an analogy again. We talk about a contract. If me and my Noble Malik go in a contract together, and if the contract going to benefit the both of us.
It better.
You
If not, I
understand
ain't
what I'm
signing
saying?
it. Yeah.
Or say the contract and say it matter what it is. We both going to sign this contract because it's going to benefit the both of us. Why? Because we know what's in the contract.
Yeah, there's also a contract where you sign under duress, though, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But then
Said,
again,
his comment said was under conditions. Under conditions means under duress. So if you're signing a contract under duress, you're being forced in a way, right? That's what that means. You're being forced in a way, like you don't have other options in that scenario. That's not every scenario, but just in certain scenarios. And we're not going to get into particulars, but yes, you can be forced to a contract under duress, and we understand that. But there's ways to go and function about that when that happens.
Okay. Now, on the flip side, because my brother Malik give wisdom, I'm gonna give my wisdom, and it's gonna be together as one, because you got to look at things in both perspectives and make your wise decision that fits your situation. Why? If both wisdom, you should be able to merge those two things and see the esoteric and the exo, because he's not saying nothing wrong. Say what you just said again, Malik.
I said when you can both parties have to agree on the contract. Right. There are certain situations where you are signing a contract under duress, but there are ways to handle that without going into a whole bunch of detail, because that's a whole nother class.
Right. So let's just clear that real fast. When you were an adult, there is no excuse of not what?
Knowing the law.
Oh, okay. In the what? A court of law, right? Right? Law. So I get the philosophy of what you're saying. I really do. But when I'm training a person, I'm saying the philosophy is not going to work. What? In a court of law.
No, because ignorance of the law is no excuse.
Oh, there we ding. So you see how that we agreeing. We're not disagreeing, because philosophically, you 100% right. You see what I'm saying?
When you get in the court of law, you sign a contract. It's on you because you're supposed to know.
There we have it.
We'll give some leeway to minors, right? Especially the ones that just graduated high school, right? Because they don't learn this. So we'll give leeway from about 18 to about 25. I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna give you leeway from about 18 to about 25. But by the time you hit 25, you should be knowing your rights. Because I know in school they don't go over those things, and you're people born in the United States are entitled to know, entitled to have these protections, but they don't know what they are. Right? But how can you apply some if you don't even know what it is? So after 18, when you graduate high school, in about 25, you should be learning what those rights are, because they don't teach in the school, and that's up to you. Because you are supposed to be an adult or a major. You're no longer a minor.
And it's not taught. And I'm telling you, I know it's not taught. We able to teach it. We able to teach it to kids. We able to do it on a global platform. And I always use the analogy, because we just having a conversation.
Yeah.
I don't diss the concept of church, because I understand the concept of church is the gathering of people. And I know most people on here at least went to church sometime in their life. So it's a lot of people on here never stepped in a mosque, never stepped in a Masonic house, never stepped in a doctoral library, never stepped nowhere with professors, never, all those things. So if that's the case, I think we should be able to say, wait a minute, this should be something we should try, and be like, well, because we didn't get this at none of the churches. We're not talking about no churches specifically, but think about it. If all my brothers and sisters think about what we're saying, I really think we can do some major. You know, just think about us as a people, and as we steady going, as the brother talk about the voting laws in Louisiana, and a group of brothers and a whole bunch of people, Noble Malik, will stand behind. We black. We want our vote. We black, 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 and we want our civil rights. They'll be like, "Oh, we got them." You hear me?
Yeah, I want my human rights first. Oh, that civil stuff.
That's what I'm saying. You can't, so off the top, Noble Malik, we can't agree. Why? Because here we go again. Watch this. No, I'm not a Moor. I'm a Hebrew. I'm a Hebrew. I'm not a Hebrew. I'm an Egyptian. I'm not an Egyptian. I'm a damn whatever. I don't know.
You gotta get the context which provides you protections.
Say that again, Noble.
Learning the law. You have to understand what titles give you protection. Period. It has nothing to do with your skin color. Period.
So see, now this is the beautiful discussion, because my homegirl Kim said that's the same with voting, and these are the conversations that we have to have with each other. Because I tell everybody, when you're voting, if Democrat and Republican, it's just like Crips and Bloods to me, or people behind the closed doors. They know. Yeah. They know.
Yeah. Because they all. The funny thing is, when you say Crips and Bloods, if people really understood what they was created for, is to protect the community.
Man, look, when you really see it, it's even in masonry. Like I'll be giving y'all old wisdom, and like before I even pull the documents out for you can see with your own eyes playing out. You'll be like, wait a minute. It's all in politics. You'll be like, wait a minute. You'll be like, okay. Yes, you'll be like, okay, so let's deal with it. You'll be like Democrat, Republican, or independent, or this, not the other. Law and policy. Okay, it might be something that Republican be good. It might be something that this be good. Why? This policy, marijuana was illegal in these certain places. So, but then when you say, well, I'm gonna vote Democrat, I'm gonna vote Republican, and then I say why, or what's the agenda, or anything of that, as you see this thing play out, it's still a form of a game. Because what's the purpose? I always ask people, like, because I don't understand it. And then if the people is really voting, I always go locally to a community like ours, and because this how we deal with the people, Malik, and look and take a good scope of this. I can use the city of Flint. I can use Dalton, where the lady Tiffany Hennard is. I can use Ohio. I can use a plethora of areas, but let's just stay in Flint. And we're just gonna say the misnomer Black community and see how a lack of knowledge, and see could we agree? Because we got a little more time. When you have
about 3 minutes.
Yep, we have great. We have you have a city council that's Democrat, and you have a mayor that's Democrat, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why can't nothing get done? I said the mayor Democrat and the city council Democrat. Why can't nothing get done?
That's a good question.
Huh?
That's a great question.
I mean, nobody, and look, I put this out there, people didn't even catch it. I said, if the mayor Democrat, yep, if the city council Democrat, yep, they can't even agree on the city budget yet. This been so long. I said, something has got to be wrong. Malik?
It is wrong. The system is broken. You got to get people in there to entrust that don't have an agenda, but to do right. Most of them have an agenda to create finance, or to be greedy, and that's a better way to put it. To be greedy in some aspect, it's not for the whole. You know what I mean? For the greater good, it has to be for the greater good. Yeah. And most people are not doing stuff for the greater good. They're doing stuff for their own personal gain, and that's gluttony.
Yeah, I agree. No, I agree. But like
that's
you
why
say,
doing the right thing is not easy all the time. I'm gonna just straight up say it. Doing the right thing, the righteous thing, righteous, is not always easy. It takes a certain type of person to always do the righteous thing. Mm-hmm. So even when it comes to that, you already know what it is, and sometimes it's easier to do the wrong thing for some people because that's what they know.
hmm hmm And I agree. And we can, and with love and with wisdom, as my brothers bring it to us, man, law governs all events. If y'all want to see that document later, all you got to do is hit me up. It'll clear a lot of stuff up. You know, because me and my nobles, we have discussions of these things. You know, he said the major politicians got to be scratching each other's backs and taking oaths. What do you say? And taking oaths. If we not black has no standing in law, but how could they practice law really without being a Moor? How could they practice law without being a Moor? Because Moor ain't got nothing to do with practicing law.
That's a will. That's a free will thing.
Moor have nothing to do with practicing law.
Yeah, that's a free will.
Now, do we know the
gave
law?
the example. Free will.
How we know that? Why? Because you got black people that's under that league of the British Annotated Registry. So we know it's just so much when we have to remove those things and replace them with understanding.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I think that's what he's saying. Like, how can it be any black people who practice law and they not be more? Like, if everybody who practice law know these things, how can y'all still be claiming black?
Oh,
hello.
He said,
hello,
well, hello.
Hello, somebody.
Oh, yeah, that's what I said.
Hello, somebody. Wake it up.
And that, I thank you. And
drop the mic right now.
Who said that?
I think whoever you was reading out, I think that's what they was getting at.
Oh, okay. That's brother JD. Oh, that's brother JD Berry. The one I did the email.
Right there.
Yeah, I sent this email to us, for somebody to send in the syllabus. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I don't know neither. That's a good question. That's the how can I say psychosis of what we talking about right now. That's the psychosis where we're just proving the whole dissertation. Why? Because what people be saying on social media, on paper and all that, we still do the opposite. That's the whole title of the dang old discussion. The psychosis of the misnomer black man, aka I'm gonna say I'm a Moor on social media. You see, that's as simple. We know all this, and everybody profess all this, and it's still when somebody promulgates something, or when we operate as the masses, the title on it is black.
Yep, like pants sagging. You know that come from jail and prison. You know where the narrative come from, but we still go and do it. Even these YNs these days, they still run around with their pants, off their butt, knowing exactly what that demonstrates and where it comes from is not a positive connotation. It's a very negative connotation. And to duplicate that is just insane. It's a psychosis. It's crazy.
Yeah. And that's what we talk about. And I wish, man, that the people on here, really follow our page, man, and get with us and hit us up, man, because this, we can't go no further as a people, y'all, really, with all due respect, no matter what religion you are. You can have your mother on here. Anybody on here with some sense, they'll have to sit down. They may cry. Because my dad 80, my mom 75. Like they come to class, they understand. They was like, man, how can your people not get what you and your brothers been talking about and breaking it down? My mother and them like, if we had y'all when y'all was young, when we were younger and all this, and I say it to myself. I said, imagine if my brothers was like this in the science around me. No disrespect to my brothers. I love everybody. But in our neighborhoods, it wasn't nobody, that we can see with their feather and their turbans on, and they not no chumps. They God body, they whatever it is. They showing things in this. They got, whatever they have, not from doing nothing illegal, but from being who they are and building the community and owning things. I think that's the image that these kids need to see. And I think that's what would change things, especially with us identifying as something that's synonymous to slaves.
No matter be entertained to be educated.
Yeah. Yes, and that's all I'm saying.
We're not doing things that are popular. We're doing things that will educate and uplift us. So it's not popular. It's cool. It ain't popular. But if people if people want to come and do things that are fair and right by them in a righteous way, we here for the unpopular way. That's cool. We here for the unpopular way. We know it's not popular, right? Most smart people they be by themselves, right? Most intelligent people, they be by themselves in small groups, right? Think about when in high school, all the nerds, right? They was the one everybody talked about, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he just this and he just that. Yeah, but he's smart, intelligent, or she's smart, intelligent. Why is that a bad thing? Why do we make that a bad thing, being
Yeah.
intelligent?
Yes.
That's a psychosis, because
See?
the rest of them who are making fun of them just want to be entertained and laugh and joke and do all of that, right? Disruptive type stuff, right? Instead of be there to learn, to feed your brain.
Malik, man, that's why I said, man, me and you would talk for hours. Because when you said the psychosis, remember I told you, man, I said, when I went to school and do all this, I thought I was going to be able to come back to my community and do this, because I was already engulfed in that before I left. You hear me?
Right. Yep.
I was already made a name for myself in ministry for that, and for me to not be speaking like that and be able to stand my own as a young man, I said I had to go get me some education, because I knew the seminary was nothing. And when I done that, I was able to, I thought I was going to be able to come back to a city and all my wisdom and all my understandings, being intelligent and for the people, I thought I was going to be able to come back and get all my high school friends, get everybody down here to hear that say that they need a new message that be following me. I thought that was going to happen, but that's what I said, the psychosis. And
Who'd
and
you buy
that's
your
what I
first
said,
piece
man.
of land with?
Huh?
Who'd you buy your first piece of land with?
You? Oh, land
Yeah.
that I bought?
Yeah.
Shoot, I don't know, Malik.
Us.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm talking about the land. Oh duh. Yeah. I'm
And,
thinking
and,
how.
and the reason why I
Of
bring that
course,
up
we
is
bought tennis. Yeah. Of course.
the reason why I brought that up is because that was a very enlightening moment.
Yeah.
And I'm saying for me, because of the process,
Yes.
right? And when
Yeah.
you go through this process and it's undeveloped, right? You go through this process and you were like, wait a minute, why is it only this amount of paperwork, right? Pieces of paper, a few, and then I had a mortgage before. Why is that so substantial? It's like a book. So when the noble Aaron said contract, being con, right? Con man, look at
Mm-hmm.
why is there so many pieces of paper just to exchange a dollar value?
Mm-hmm.
Because you're
Mm-hmm.
being con.
Mm-hmm.
But when we did the transaction to buy the land, it was a upright. It was almost like a two men coming to agreement and shaking hands. It was
Yeah.
a very righteous experience
Yeah.
because both parties were doing things in righteousness.
And what we do, bought it outright, didn't we?
Bought it outright. Hello, outright.
I mean, real talk. And so that's what I say. On the flip side, I was saying, man, I really understand what the God and man, and with those things working with brothers really trusting each other, what can really happen on this level. Because I haven't seen nobody, with all due respect, I don't care how much money they say their organization have. I ain't seen nobody with no 10 acres. That's why I'll be telling everybody, I'll be like, well, show me. Man, it says that we got to find where? Oh, that's a farm in your backyard. I ain't finna have no farm in my backyard. Ain't no way in hell I don't give it. At my parents' house, man, Malik, they got a back. I'm not finna set up no farm with no residents. We're gonna buy some land and have some. We're gonna build a farmhouse and a greenhouse, and we're gonna rock like that. And it can be a community, a co-op. You see?
I just ran into a young cat, my dad's friend's son, but I coached his son, but he contract lawyer. So he built on contract. So we could talk to him about our property. So I just wanted to let you know that. But Noble Aaron said on here, he said, remember Big Mama gave you the castor oil. He said that castor oil didn't go down easy, did it? But you didn't want to take it. But it was good for you, is what he's saying.
Yeah.
The castor oil was good for you. It didn't go down easy. And this is what Noble Aaron, gratitude for saying that. But yes, it didn't go down easy. Unlearning things to learn better things aren't going down easy either. But it takes willpower, because it took willpower to swallow that castor oil. I ain't even gonna hold you. You had to have an understanding that this is going to make me better, right?
Yeah.
It's like knowledge. If you want to acquire it, this is going to make me better, put it in a better position. It's going to make us upright and righteous and want to perform in this aptitude, right? And not want to go do things sideways, right? because your foundation is solid.
Boy, that's what I'm talking about, brother. I mean, for real, like, I mean, come on. That's why I said, man, come on, brothers. Like, yes, like we remember we were talking about a straight razor. Would you give a kid a straight razor? No, because it'll mess him up. But you'll give it to someone, an adult, and maybe you might not. But you have to give it to someone that's ready for that. You know.
Yeah.
And so I'll talk about the duality again, because Malik going to give you both ways. We're going to give you wisdom on both planes. Which I understand. Like, we have to be willing. We have to be willing to be corrected. If I don't know what I'm doing, I have to be willing to let someone guide me until I'm ready to do this. You know, when you see the dad showing them how to do this, and when they're ready, he's doing it his own. You see the preparation. Malik was talking about it early. You see that dedication. So you don't want to do nothing prematurely. Why? Because from wisdom, you know, why? From the application. You don't jump from here to here. The pendulum swings the same way. Think about that wisdom. So what I'm saying, as we get to a level, you know, and if we don't know per se, and we know those that do know, you know, that's how we should rock with. Oh, he said he liked he said he liked the toppy that I got on right now. It's not too big, you know. Oh yeah, my note is not too big. As the high regular feds could be better in certain places and environments. Yeah, that's why I'll be rocking different things to show people. These, a lot of times, like saying different seasons, you can wear with your suit or whatever. It's not as big with the tassel. I got them in different colors. You know,
get them with the tassel on it. The short
one. Yeah. I can put the small tassel on it, absolutely, and I can get it with the small tassel. Yeah, but you know, I can get the little small tassels. I like to do a lot of stuff hand stitch, but I know how to pull the tassel through the nipple.
Oh yeah, I need one of them though too, Sheik. The little short joints though too.
You already know I got you. I got to send you some more shea butter. I'm gonna send you a package.
Yeah.
But this is what we saying, y'all. We like to have open discussions. I make and like I said, we can have discussion with everybody. You know what I mean? My nobles, we got your email. And all we ask people when we come to class, if you want to support, and in my bio, all the information there. And if you send me emails, we're going to respond, because we'll love to have you on StreamYard. And we'll love for you at least subscribe to our YouTube channel at Burning Bush Tabernacle Science Temple and School and say what's up. I promise you. And so that's the only answer I have into a lot of things when we talk about spirituality and who we are. I think we have to come to an agreement as a people. No matter how can I say the best way, no matter what you may call it or your religious perspective, if we all understand, then that means we understand the triple rows. That means we understand the Paraclete, the Fatima, and the Jerusalem. That means we understand that nothing outside ourselves and anything outside ourselves is true shirk. But we understand, and we can able to compare and contrast to show brothers and sisters to think about something. And when you think about these things, and when we be able to break these things down to the body, the eso and the exoteric understanding, I think you would be like, well, okay, if you still say that you have the right to do this, we're still going to say, and we have the right to do exactly what we're doing. You see what I'm saying?
Yep. Aaron said, he said, Grand Sheik, he said, I can see your hands that you've been doing work with them in your 49 years. There's brothers that don't want to work with their hands, let alone their mind. A workman is due his hire. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I did a lot of things, man, in my 49 years of experience. You know, a lot. I survived the 90s in Flint, Michigan. I tell everybody I lost my brother. Everybody know me. I lost my brother who killed Jelani Goodman Bay. You know, so everything I do, I'm serious. My brothers will tell you that.
Yep.
Malik be having to talk to me like sheep. Like, cause I'm telling you, cause I said for my people, man, I'm gonna be the first one to jump. Like, and that's
somebody said there is only one Allah. I said, yep, and it's connected to all things.
Yep. But with that, man, I give y'all honor. I give y'all love, man. We love for you to check out our school and our company pages, Morris Haberdasher, all those things. If once you see on our YouTube channel, but
you know what? Before we go, let me drop this little message. I'm gonna keep repeating this to give people a basic understanding of what we are working against in a way.
Okay.
It's the whole going, Yahshua, Jesus, whatever you want to call him, going to Calvary to be hung or on a stake cross, however you want it to specify that, right?
Mm-hmm.
In that story, marching to Calvary to be crucified, right? Why did everybody watch an innocent person get put at the stake? You should ask yourself that question. And why do people stand by today and watch the same things happen?
Mm-hmm.
I just want you to think about that. Like, put that on your hippocampus. Why do we watch Jesus get carried to Calvary and he didn't commit not one crime? But today we watch people who are innocent and be in trouble or whatever the case may be, and we stand and watch.
Mm-hmm.
And it be groups of you watching and doing nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Think about that.
Mm-hmm. 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 And see, Malik, you see how that goes so many, you see how that just travel on so many different wavelengths and currencies? Could that go both ways? He said, even when something happening, but then a person is sitting right there and be like, man, this could have been that. And they say, yeah, it could have been that. With you right there watching it. You right there, you hear every time. Like what were we doing?
What is that? What you call it? A spectator?
Yeah. Yeah. Or a lottery.
Yeah, lottery. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. A person lottering instead of patronizing, instead of here it is, Malik say this, we don't have no price, but we can feed you and everything. But we do ask for a suggested donation, so we can keep doing this, we can keep feeding people each week, and then we can build something, But then you come here each week, we say, man, we ask for a suggested donation, we ain't charging nothing. But you come here next week, boom, boom, everything good, boom, nothing. You come here the next week, hey, we gonna feed you and everything, we ain't charging nothing, but we asking for a suggested donation. Nothing. And so when people say we could do this, I say, yeah, with the help of the people, yes, we can. Because my moochies can tell you, like they can tell you what we can do together.
Yeah.
On a mass thing, when we have these people and how can I say, we've been saying things about certain individuals and may never gave nothing of our monetary value to nothing, but we talk about things like somebody said they're going to open up a school. I ain't gave those individuals monies. I don't think none of my people gave those individuals no monies. I don't think you gave those people no monies. So if we haven't gave them no monies, that shouldn't even be in our hippocampus, as my noble Malik eloquently used his vernacular. That shouldn't even be in our radar. Why? Because we ain't rocking with that. We rocking with this. And from the courting and from what we seeing, we know this can happen. How? Because we showing them this is what we want. We can have this. And so this is what I'm saying to my brothers and sisters. I know we can do something, y'all. But
yeah.
We have to come to an understanding if we really want something to change, to be able to be like, wait a minute, you have the right of a nationality and you have the right to change it. No one would be arbitrarily denied of a nationality and a right to change it. To claim a child replaces the birth certificate. And like I said, you don't have to listen to me, and you can continue to do whatever you want. You can proclaim, declare, you can do however you feel and the steps you want. But whatever you're doing, you should know. And everything you should be doing should be to what? Lift up fallen humanity.
That's right.
So that's all I really have for anyone else. But until then, man, like my noble Malik said, we can't keep continuing to come. And it's like you watching a crucifixion. As my homie saying, he was like, man, everybody come, they don't give a nothing to your temple in school. And, everything will be your bios. And I'm like, well, I love to do this. Like my noble Malik said, I have the time. I'm going to continue to do it. Because my cup run is over. You think I'm going to stop doing it? Say, well, I got the bag and other endeavors. You think I'm going to stop doing this? If anybody think I'm gonna stop, you might see me. I might have a big, our temple and school where we having a big impact on the community, but it don't stop. You know, I'm not in this for that. It's other things that I do to live my life with my wife, and as me and my nobles enjoy our lives and our eldership, and continue to try to give this wisdom to younger men and with their wives and children, and we build something to say we don't have to complain about nothing, because this is what we have the right to do. We have the right to have our temple and school. We have the right to have our library. We have the right to have our teachers, the religious rights. And when people be talking about they don't deal with law, and that's why the religious rights trump everything that you're talking about. Like, these are keys, and we give, and what we do here at the BBT, we try to give you keys to operate as a community. People don't be understanding the beauty. Man, let me tell you, Malik, my sister was here yesterday, and my nephew do catering. And the power about when my sister was like, I got this from you, bro. She was like, how you did a class when you're talking about if you part of a church and all that, and they taxes them for the federal government, and they go, and you can go places and use the tax exempt status that don't pay taxes.
Yep.
And so if you're part of that organization, whatever, just like you're part of our temple and school and our fraternal order, and you got our student ID or your nationality ID, which don't replace nothing. It got your tax exempt number on there. And you go in a place with a convoy, do y'all take tax exempt status? They're going to say, yeah. They're going to say, yeah. If the person at the cash register don't know, what you're talking about in a polite voice, as a person that understand what they doing, not trying to get nothing free, you ask me, I'll speak to the manager, and then it can be done the right way. I'm telling you, you can even have them. If you got a body of people, you can register, and when all your people go in the store, when they give them that tax exempt status, you will get a tax exempt check every quarter for the taxes that your people didn't have to pay, because they'll donate it right back to your organization. How do you know that? Because I've done it. So when people be saying community stuff, man, you're going to have to be a certain way on paper to deal with the community, And that's where I understand a lot of stuff I haven't been doing, because I thought the people would be able to step in. This is what I'm saying. But I still love all my people. And I see a lot of our people will rather do something else, and that's okay. But my brothers that's with me, they're going to be able to be witnesses to what we started and where it's been going, where it's going to be able to go. And it's okay, and that's all I tell people. I said, listen, man, I wish I had all my friends that we older now and they follow me and all this to give small donations, because we are already buy a building in the city. But now other things is happening, and they don't even have to be in my city. And I had to get out of that, Malik, that small mind frame. And I don't say it's small, but when everybody's like, man, you international, you got brothers everywhere. Like, what are you talking about? If your people ain't on that there, one
just
homeboy.
Just your lower self. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah,
we all
I say that.
Just say that. Yeah. Just
I say, yep, I say that. Yep. And I, you know what, Malik, and I accept that. And yep. I was in my lower self.
But we got to master self. That's what Sufism is. That's what we teach.
Yeah.
So it's just mastering yourself, and sometimes it's gonna come up, it's gonna arise, it's gonna show back up. You be like, hold on, I gotta check that. Hold on, wait a minute. Perfect this out, right?
Yeah, because they hurt my heart. I said, oh man, some showed me like, Sheik, man, you got all this out here. I'm like, I ain't know. I didn't know. And not standing like that though, Malik. Like,
that's why I'm laughing.
Somebody was like, bro, he was like, you got brothers in Sacramento? He was like, man, you got a whole bunch of, he was like, bro, I said, man, I just never, I be moving so much. I'm here with my mom, a lot of stuff. I don't be responding to stuff, and it just caught me. They was like, bro, wait till you come to Sacramento. Then another guy was like, man, oh, you can come to St. Louis. I said, yeah, my noble in St. Louis. I said, Dantes.
Real live. It's a screening across the bottom for our donations. It's on the roll. So just to let you know.
Yeah. Brother, hey Malik, I'm gonna read the last question somebody said. He said, Brother C. Freeman L was talking about the Sufi teachings. I need to know more about it. Well, once again, we lecture about the Sufi teachings, and you got to remember, Sufi C. Freeman L and Bobby Hemmett knew each other. So even when we talk about this correcting of the self, when you see these situations, it's not no one else, it's correcting yourself to build yourself up. So when Malik was talking about when we say lower self, you can have a passion so good that it will draw you to your lower self. Think about it. You know, not nothing is wrong, but when you not, yeah, when that, how can I say, when it's not balanced, put it like that. When it's not balanced, when you want something so bad, but that's not, remember, it's not my plan. And, you know, and I was forcing, and then that's why I could talk about it, you know, just gonna help someone, you know. I was trying to force it, you know, Malik, like, no, my city, I was forcing it. The creator was laughing at me. He said, man, you here to do one thing and one thing only. You know, Mike, like, you here to do one thing only, take care of your mama. He said, none of this stuff you and your nobles don't have. He said, man, he said, you international. I like, what? I said, man, I'm from Flint. Flint tall. But
more means you what? Being a more means you what? International.
Worldwide, and that's all I gotta say, Malik. So you know,
baby. So that's I want to give another nugget, right? Before we go, because you said something just a second ago, right?
Yeah.
It's when you get in your lower self, it's like you stop moving in a way, and you on autopilot in a way, right? And so you're not constantly aware of what you're doing. You always got to be conscious, right? Because you have to make adjustments as life goes on. Like you be walking down the street, and then somebody on a bike come by. Right?
Yeah.
You might have to move out the way, or a car get too close, right? But you don't stop your motion, right? Sometimes you could stop your emotion and the lower self could take over. And that's no different than a 90-year-old person. You can have two 90-year-old people. If you think that you didn't create it, you had so much wisdom at 90 years old, you think that you didn't got it all. You could do it at 50, right? And you think it's gonna stick. Well, the person that's at 50 that stays in motion and the person that sits and think they know it all, who do you think gonna live longer? One is a puddle of water and one's a river. Yep.
Come on now. So, one is active feeding and one is staying in motion.
So you got to stay in motion. That means your brain don't constantly just sit around. You got to stay in motion. There's time for contemplation to sit down and be calm, most definitely. But you want to be activated all the time.
Well, that's good wisdom.
Activated. So that's all I wanted to say. And that's with learning too. With learning and feeding. And sometimes you got to sit back and let things process. Because what we teach is a lot. I ain't even gonna lie. I'm not even gonna hold you. Sometimes you got to process that. And some people need time and some people don't. But I'm saying take time to process things you learned. Because then you'll be able to apply it a lot smoother. Or get, maybe you got gaps and maybe you need questions answered to fill them in, right? With understanding so you can complete that puzzle at that time. So with that, I digress, and I say gratitude to everybody who showed up, who participated in the we'll say Real Live. Also, Aaron, I know your name, so I'm just call you Aaron, Noble Aaron. So gratitude for that. Y'all two been in here putting in work and having a conversation. We didn't answer all your questions. Tried to, but you know, we just having dialogue. So why don't y'all hit us up on our email so we can get in touch with you, brothers. We appreciate the context. So gratitude.
Yep. Like I said, we appreciate everything. Somebody was asking us, do we show you how to tie the turban? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yes. We'll show you how to tie the turban. You support, you purchase one. We'll give you one, all that good stuff. We have feds. You see my noble Malik. Everything, like, we welcome everyone to get with us, email us, give us a call. If anybody give a donation, we're going to give you literature. We're going to correspond, and we're going to invite you to be on StreamYard before classes, and we'll send you the email. What's tomorrow? Saturday or Sunday? You can be our guest in Sunday school. You'll be able to join us live on StreamYard. We'll send you the email. It's no problem. But with that being said, we out of here. I think he froze. I know your internet been freezing earlier since we were working out. But yeah, man, with that being,
here I go.
Yeah, you froze like.
So yeah. Peace and love.
Peace.
I'm a spirit speaking, truth seeking, heart reaching, knowledge leaking, seeds sowing, harvest reaping, man of me. I have yet to leave, I'm still breathing. To quit, I have no reason. I mean, I'm asleep, but I be trying to live my dreams. I cannot even act if it's all easy. Either you gon' do it or you don't. Really, it ain't no in between. Baby, you can ask the sun, it's an everyday thing. Consistency in your routine is how you bring reality. Working like a slave, that's how I made this masterpiece. Living like a god, I lay at night